Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of On the Field, Off the Field, a podcast presented to you by asesportsllc. And I am your host, G. Watts, aka The Voice, coming to you live from my home base in Blythewood, South Carolina. If you notice anything different about this particular episode, you can actually see my face. I decided to put a face with a voice just to make it a little bit more personable for those who may be checking me out. And here I am. Before we get started, just a little bit more about Ase Sports. We are a sports consulting firm that specializes in working with athletes and sport managers and helping to navigate a lot of the challenging but exciting processes that come along with a sports career. So if you are a sport manager or an athlete, or you know one who feel like they could use some assistance trying to evolve in their career, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be happy to sit down just to talk to see if we can be of any assistance. All right. So in this particular episode, unless you've been living under a rock like I do sometimes, you'll know that the Oklahoma City Thunder won the NBA championship this year. They defeated the Indiana Pacers in a 7-game series, 4-3, to win their first title under the Oklahoma City brand. So congratulations to them. As a lot of fans know, they moved to OKC in 2008, and prior to that, they were known as the Seattle Supersonics. The Seattle Supersonics, they actually won an NBA title in 1979. So it has been a stretch since the franchise collectively has seen such success in winning a championship for the city and for the team. So hats off to OKC. They proved to be a young, formidable, tough-nosed team who grinded through not even just this finals, but they actually grinded through the entire playoffs, and they play very good basketball. So my question is, though, are we going to see them back next year? Not soon after the NBA Finals, the NBA draft took place for 2025, with the Dallas Mavericks holding the #1 pick and selecting forward Cooper Flag out of Duke to add on to their team. I think that was a good pickup for Dallas. I mean, I know it's a lottery, but man, I don't know how they got the #1 pick, seeing as they was even in the playoffs last year. So this is going to be a dangerous team going into next year, with the addition of Cooper Flag, added on with Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, and Klay Thompson. Guys like that are going to only help him evolve and grow faster as a player. So I think that the Dallas Mavericks are going to be some trouble coming out of the Western Conference in the 2025-2026 season. Aside of the NBA draft, there were some major trades that went on in the NBA this offseason as well. And that includes the Atlanta Hawks signing Kristaps Porzingis. That included the departures of Drew Holiday and Porzingis from Boston. That included the Brooklyn Nets. They acquired Michael Porter Jr. It's been some pretty notable trades this past offseason. So looks like the league is going to be shaken up a bit. So we're going to see how this affects each team, of course. Obviously, I'm looking for Miami right now. Wow, so the Denver Nuggets actually acquired Tim Hardaway Jr. That was big for them. The Mavericks, they acquired D'Angelo Russell. That's big for them. It's like the Mavericks are stacking right now. So like I said, man, the Mavericks are going to be dangerous coming out of the Western Conference this year. So I'm glad as a Miami Heat fan, we wouldn't see these guys unless we made it to the finals, because, I think that's crazy. Just the firepower they are amassing over there in Dallas. Wow. So, okay. And I didn't see, this is my first time seeing this, man. I see Duncan Robinson has been acquired by the Detroit Pistons. So he's finally out of Miami. Dang, sad to say. I was hoping he could be a real long-term guy for us, but y'all know how the league is now, man. It's a business, and that's on all sides of sports, man. A lot of sport teams aren't retaining these guys for, 5, 6, 7 years. It's like, hey, you get 3 to 4, 3 to 4 years, maybe 5. Some guys don't even get that long. Some guys get 1 year, 2 years, just to see what you could do. And then, we moving on from you. Now some guys, they do, as I see it, they kind of develop themselves into a more marketable player where, they do good in one area. And I think we do that in Miami, where we kind of mold players and then we allow them to go somewhere else to make more money. But it's definitely tough to see Duncan Robinson finally leaving Miami. So like I said, this is the first time I saw this, man. Like I said, sometimes I be either too busy or living under a rock. So, and I know that's not good for us, a sport manager, but, hey, I get my dose, I get my daily dose in when I need it. But definitely gonna look to grow my knowledge a little more, stay on top of things. So, let's see what else we got, man. Kevin Durant, of course, that trade that happened between Phoenix and Houston. That sent Durant over to Houston. So that's going to be interesting. Durant is now his 16 now? Man, I can't count anymore, man. These guys, not everybody, but, man, a guy like Durant, man, like who continues to jump teams like that, I feel like that kind of waters down your legacy as far as, just, man, how great were you, And it's like, you can't blame it all on KD because these teams got to build around these guys to help them be successful. But, man, I'm glad he won a ring in Golden State, because if he hasn't won a ring yet, then I feel like that would just tarnish his career as far as, where he stands in the conversation of, the top players of all time. I'm not going to say the GOAT. I know that's the terminology we use nowadays, the GOAT conversation, but I ain't gonna say that. But just talking about the top players of all time, man, I feel like he's gonna be up there, but I just think he could have had way more success by finding a team to stay grounded with. So, of course, best of luck to him. I don't think he's gonna do bad. Obviously, they're trying to win, and I think that's either a we're trying to sell tickets and we're trying to win. We know it's not going to happen in 2 or 3 years. We're trying to get a quick, push for the finals. So, we'll see how that kind of goes if Durant stays here for 1 year, 2 years, and decides to try to pursue another opportunity somewhere else. But you got to remember that KD is coming up close to that retirement. So, let's see where he will finish at. What else, man? What else we got out here, man? Wow. So Miles Turner departed to the Bucks in free agency. Wow, man. So I guess he felt like, man, maybe the Bucks was ready to pay him, man. Maybe the Bucks was ready to pay him, man. But obviously he didn't feel confident staying in Indiana. Wow. They both cold places. So, that doesn't make weather. I don't think that's a factor. But I think, move like that could have possibly came down to money. And of course, I do my research there and, try to see the ins and out, but either money. And I think it probably was like money. Maybe, Miles Turner proved himself worthy of a bigger contract. Maybe Indiana wasn't talking the numbers that he wanted to hear. And Milwaukee was, but that's interesting to see. Miles Turner is in Milwaukee now. Wow. After an NBA Finals run, mind you, with his former team. So, let's see, James Harden, he re-signs with the Clippers. Clippers adds Brook Lopez. That's not bad it's not that bad, man. I'm kind of reading right now, on the ticker, here. Los Angeles Lakers added DeAndre Ayton. A little bit too late. You probably wanted to have done something like that, prior to the playoffs, somewhere mid-playoffs. You should have found you a big man and signed him. So now we're going to see how they're going to be able to utilize DeAndre Ayton next season, and pair him with some of those young guys out there, as well as LeBron and Luka, to see if that's going to be, a definitive factor in their success. A lot of people said that LA should have signed another big man while they were in the playoffs or for that playoff run. And I don't think they did that. So And obviously, I think you saw that they were lacking kind of in the paint, especially with the loss of AD. So that's definitely big for them signing DeAndre Ayton. It shows that they took notice to a problem that they had, and they're trying to fix it now. So we'll see how it turns out 2025, 2026. Yeah, I got to remember, man, some of these guys still might not be on these teams. They could get traded later down the road. So, that's another thing to look for. Who's going to do, the whole year? who's going to do multiple years? You know what I'm saying? Looks like Memphis has acquired Kentavious Caldwell-Pope amongst several other guys, including Cole Anthony as well. What else? There we go. Miami, of course, we added Davion Mitchell. Yeah, I'll take Davion back, man. He actually proved himself as a prominent young guard who can make a big splash in big games. He kind of came out of nowhere to me. Of course, the only departure we had was Duncan Robinson. Man, I had a note that Miami Heat only had one draft pick this year. It was the 20th pick overall in the first round. I made a note that if Miami wants to try to see some success this year with the loss of Jimmy, even though I'm happy Jimmy's gone, I'm kind of happy about that. But with the loss of Jimmy, now with the loss of Duncan, and I think we still got some good players over there that we could kind of like build around. But we're going to need another solid player, another playmaker who could come in and kind of relieve pressure off guys like Tyler Hero, guys like Bam Adebayo. I know we got Terry Rozier third. We got him coming back, but I still think we need another like solid. I want to say a solid big man. I know we got Kelly Ware. He actually did great last year, and I think he's going to be a big addition to us in the paint. But somewhere, let's see, small forward. Of course, we got to make sure our bench is straight. That's one thing about Miami. Anytime we made a strong run in the playoffs or in the finals, we had a strong bench. But like I said, I think that the only way we're going to be able to really like make an impact this year is by going and trying to find another player to sign, a big time player to sign. And I hope Pat Riley's listening. I hope the organization is listening, but I think we do need another prominent player. I don't mean a guy who's going to sell tickets. Of course, a lot of guys who are prominent out there will sell tickets, but I think we need a strong piece to the puzzle to fit in there with Tyler Hero, with Davion Mitchell, with Terry Rozier, with Bam, with Kyle Ware, with Nikola Jovic, and get to really get us going, man, and get us over that hump, man. And I can't knock Miami, man. Now, we've made our finals runs in the past, 5-6 years? We've been in the finals, man. You can't really knock us. But of course, we want to win those championships. We want to take it back to 2010, 2011, back to back, type stuff. You feel me? So we'll see what the organization does as the off season closes out. We're going to be entering into the summer, and then of course into preseason, then of course into the season. So we're going to see what Miami does there. Wow, Milwaukee. Dang. That Miles Turner thing is still getting to me, man. Wow. Damian Lillard was waived out of Milwaukee. I don't know if y'all knew that, man. Damian Lillard was waived. We're going to see kind of where he ends up at. Wow. That was big, man. I guess they feel like they ain't need him out there anymore, man. I'm going to have to take a look into that one, man, because like I said, a lot of this stuff I'm saying for the first time, so I haven't even done my research to see. I just wanted to jump on and get this episode done to just get something out to y'all. So, and I don't know if y'all noticed, man, it started like a little formal, but now it's just like all informal, and it's like I'm going to just roll with it. So, but yeah, man, let's see anybody else out there. Of course, Jordan Poole, he went to the New Orleans Pelicans. Kudos to that guy, because we always talk about that guy and that incident he had with Draymond Green in practice. I don't know how Draymond Green punches this guy and this guy gets traded away. You know what I mean? I feel like Draymond Green is the problem child. He was a solid, decent player, but wasn't that great for me to have to continue to go through the things that he put my organization through. He would have been out the door to me. But yeah, it's cool to see Jordan Poole rebound though, because man, I know that man probably went through a lot, after all that went down, man, he got to Washington, and he wasn't, he didn't start off great, but he did finish strong. I could say that he actually did finish strong in Washington. So I think that's a solid addition for New Orleans. Don't know what they're gonna do with that guy Zaire Williams, man. I'm not sure. So this guy ever really gonna play a full season? This guy is he ever really gonna live up to his potential? I hope he do, man, because he was very exciting coming out of high school and coming out of college. But looks like his career has hit a wall. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I mean, like I said, it's their life choices. I'm not sure what's kind of going on with them, injury wise or whatnot. But hey, there's an opportunity out there to play pro. A lot of guys, they don't make it there. And me, I'm not all about football. I'm not all about sports. I'm not all about the sports. I'm also about, things that go on off the field. Hint the name of the episode. So I care about, when I work with players, I care about what's going on in their lives. How I can help them be better outside of just, athletically. But you got an opportunity to play pro ball though, man. And you know what I mean? It don't look hard to you. So, hey, what can I say? What else we got, man? New York, no departures out of New York. That's cool to see. They're keeping that team together. They believe in those guys. I believe they believe in their roster. So they're saying, hey, we're gonna try this one more time, man. We're gonna try it one more time this year, man. Everybody, a lot of people had the Knicks, taking it to the finals, but of course they fell short to Indiana. So, but yeah, man. So I'm scrolling through here to see if I see anything else. Dylan Brooks did go to Phoenix. That was Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green. Excuse me, though. That was two big additions to Phoenix with the departure of Kevin Durant. Not sure about their big men, so I got to look into their big men to see if they will be lacking there. Because obviously they'll have Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green. They'll have Devin Booker. But do they have two solid big men to complement those guards? So, Drew Holiday ended up in Portland. Yeah. Sorry, man. I ain't mean to ramble through this, but like I said, it is the first time I saw a lot of that, a lot of these trades. So I was kind of, definitely interested in seeing kind of, what was going on there. So, so jumping out of the NBA into the WNBA real quick. Just one thing that came to my attention was that beef between Caitlin Clark and JC Sheldon. I think it was when the Fever were playing the Connecticut Sun. And I looked at it, man, because at first I didn't see it when it happened. So when my coworker told me about it, I went back and looked at it, kind of to see, from my perspective. And man, I was just like, man, y'all leave Caitlin Clark alone, man. They really don't make that girl the, kind of like, I ain't gonna say a villain, but they put a target on her back. And I mean, it's not like, and like I said, it ain't her fault. You can't really knock. That's what people do. They make money, through these sponsorships, through the, back in college, NIL deals, through partnerships, things of that nature, man. She's big time when it comes to women's basketball, excuse me. She's big time. And it's like based on that, man. And I say y'all, if I say y'all, I mean like the media, of course. It's always the media, who kind of doctors up a lot of these stories that pits these players together, pits these teams together, whatnot. Of course, you got social media, but the biggest drivers, I think, of those narratives are the media. So, basically, I feel like they put a target on that girl back, because, that's when you get stuff like that happening. It was, while they were playing, during play, I mean, that could have happened, kind of to anybody. Yeah. The girl hit, she hit Caitlin in the face. Caitlin, she kind of reacted to that, and she kind of made a gesture at the Sheldon girl. But it's like sooner after that, you saw her teammates running up. The JC's teammates running up, all in Caitlyn face. I think it was Tina. I forgot the girl name. But you saw like hold on right quick, man, because I want to get the girl name, man. Tina Charles. So basically, so Tina Charles ran up, and at first I thought it was her. So she ran up, figuring Caitlyn's face, and then here comes the other girl. Her name was Marina Mabry. So she ran up and like she just boom, like she just bodied Caitlyn, man. And I'm like, dog, why would you do that today? Why would you do that? Why would you do that in general? I don't know, as a player, why would you do that? It wasn't you ain't see no bowl, no punch, none of that get thrown towards your teammate, and you took it upon yourself to run up and basically truck, it was like a little truck tackle, a little shiver tackle, knocking Caitlyn to the ground. And it's like, bruh, like even if that wasn't Caitlyn, like that as a player, you got, as they say, you gotta be smarter than that, man. You can't, you can't be making moves like that out there. We run off emotions sometimes, but we gotta also know how to like reel those emotions in, as they say. And don't knock me, I wasn't perfect as a player. But at the end of the day, I wasn't gonna do nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, I thought that was like uncalled for, which obviously led to kind of a lot of the stuff that happened after that. They said the referees didn't eject the Mabry girl for that, which in turn created some animosity, I believe, from the Fever's bench. All right, so later on in that game, Sophie Cunningham, JC Sheldon, she had like a breakaway play, looked like she was going for the layup. Sophie Cunningham said, "Nah, come here," kind of, hit her with a hard foul, kind of got her around the neck, yeah, it was a hard foul. Yeah, it was definitely a hard foul, definitely intentional. But at the end of the day, like they say, man, like the refs, y'all could have done better. Y'all should have got that girl about the game for trucking Caitlyn. Like I said, maybe that would have affected it. Maybe that would have affected everything. But back in the day, man, like I know a lot of the OGs back in the day, man, like you already know, bro. It was like, hey, we got Steph Curry here, we got Michael Jordan here, we got Kobe here, and you do something crazy, you foul him crazy, or you do, you know what I'm saying? You can expect to get one of those retaliation, intentional fouls coming your way. You know what I'm saying? And that's just saying, yeah, hey, man, I protected my teammates. I'll take the foul. I'll take the ejection. I'll take the fine. You know what I mean? But what you're not going to do is you're just not going to, like, inadvertently just kind of, either attack or try to, like, in a sense, harm one of my teammates. So, yeah, man, I can see. I had nothing against Sophie Cunningham when she did that, when I watched it. If I was a coach, hey, hey, to the showers. I ain't gonna say too much on the court, but when we get back to the locker room, I'll probably have a conversation with her, just letting her know, hey, man, respect. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I did see that, man. I thought that was just a crazy incident, but I do think the media kind of made that girl, Caitlyn Clark, a target. And there's just like a lot of animosity come her way, man, instead of people saying, hey, man, let's try to find out a way we can make money with this girl, man. But and I wish it wasn't like that in the NBA. In the WNBA. But it seems like that class that Caitlyn and Angel Reese came out of, man, they kind of like, they created a lot of rivalries, a lot of storylines behind a lot of these players and teams. And, of course, there's other animosities out there. Indiana, they selling out. They're making money. A lot of popularity over there. I wish the league itself was just all on the equal playing field, to the point where you would have this, you just have more competitiveness going on instead of just talks about, revenues. I think it's crazy because they said, man, since the WNBA was inducted, they never turned a profit. So I respect the organization for continuing to go, or continue to push forward. You know what I mean? It's easy to say, hey, we've been in business for 20 years and never turned a profit. So a lot of businesses wouldn't even made it 20 years. So my respect to the organization for keeping it going, even though they have never turned a profit, since the WNBA started. But yeah, so that was just my take on the Caitlin Clark, JC, I keep calling that girl JC, JC Sheldon situation. My bad. Now, piggybacking off of that, I'm gonna jump into this be the last thing I probably kind of speak on before I get out of here for the night. The Ice Cube's Big Three League. Man, first and foremost, man, hats off to Ice Cube for starting that league, man. I think that was amazing. Him kind of partnering with whoever he did. I mean, I know who, I just can't get the guy's name out right now, but partnering how he did, using his network, his relationships, using his resources to kind of get this going. I think the Big Three League is going to be something that actually does take off. It has grown since it started. It actually started in 2017. If you didn't know that, if you're like me thinking it started like 2-3 years ago, you're wrong. It started in 2017. So he's been operating this league for 8 years, going 8 years now. And I think that is phenomenal. It's something that rivals the NBA in a particular sense where, hey, it's a different form of basketball. For the male side, even more, it's different than the G League. It gives fans, something to watch after the NBA season's over. I think they're looking to increase the team count. They're looking to go international. He is, they now have have city names now. So you can see the organization growing. That's someone who you will want to, look up to as a mentor. You will want to follow his path, kind of research what he did if you ever are a sport manager wanting to engage in such business. I think a lot of people probably thought like it wasn't possible to start another league because of the NBA, because of the WNBA, but Ice Cube did it. And even then, they got the other 3-on-3 league that the women's basketball players play in. It's not under Ice Cube, but I can't. Sorry, man, I forgot the name of that too. But it's like because me, I want to build a sports facility. That's one thing I want to have. I want to have a sports facility. So seeing individuals like this and their success stories and the things that they did to kind of get to where they are, that's big for me, especially someone who looks like me. So like I said, hats off to Ice Cube, and I hope that his league continues to be successful. I like the model, the business model that he's following. I like his strategies that he's taking, trying to get young guys in as well as veteran guys in. A lot of the guys that play in the league are guys that we knew, back in the day. And I know a lot of people would love to see these guys continue to play after they're done in the NBA. And I was crazy because I'm like, yo, where did such and such go? I wonder, where did such and such go, man? Kind of find out a lot. So some guys I've been looking for in the Big Three League, Joe Johnson, didn't know he played in there. I believe Nate Robinson played in there. Of course, Lance Stevenson played in there. Dwight Howard played in there. Michael Beasley is playing in there. So yeah, man, it's like wow, like that's cool to see that. NBA is over now. We can actually watch this, and it's going to be entertaining. I can respect that and I can appreciate that. And now speaking on the Big Three League, I did see that fight between Dwight Howard and Lance Stevenson. That was kind of like my main reason for like jumping on this topic, because man, that jump was crazy. Like that was a fight. It wasn't no, hey, scripted. It wasn't no, hey, that was a fight. Like it looked like those guys had some beef beforehand. I don't know, bro. Like Lance Stevenson, I mean, I don't like Lance, man. I ain't like Lance since the time he blew in LeBron ear. I ain't like him ever since then, man. So basically, man, I'm pretty sure he's a good guy in real life. But other than that, I don't like his style of play. And so to see Dwight Howard kind of manhandle him out there was exciting. So I'm glad those guys are all right. I think they both got ejected out of the game. I'm not sure if they faced any fines. I have to look into that as well. Ice Cube was looking like, what the hell? What the hell's going on? I'm pretty sure that's not gonna damage his ratings. Or kind of any sponsorships that his business might be getting to. So I think he'll be all right. Well, that's my time for tonight. Appreciate you all joining me here on the field, off the field. And until next time, you all stay safe. You take care. You enjoy the week. And hopefully I have some great content for you next time. Peace out.